Welcome everybody, it's your girl Charlene FX, your favorite female trader, and I am back with the fourth part of this four-part beginner mini series for my beginner traders that are out there. I'm going to be going over how to simply break down a chart to be able to look for a trade, to be able to find a setup and basically have a stress-free way of finding a setup on the charts. Okay. Now, obviously, this is heavily condensed. There's obviously a little bit more that goes into it, but this is just a broad overview of what to do when you come on the charts. For those of you that are lost, that are confused, that get a little bit intimidated when you come to the charts and you have absolutely no idea what to look for, how to look for a trade, no matter how much you study and what you look for, it's hard to know what the first few steps are to breaking down a chart. I'm going to give you that in this video today in a few quick steps. Any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them in the description box below. And don't forget to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. All right, let's jump right into it here on one of my favorite beginner pairs, AUD USD. When you first come to the charts, guys, the first thing you want to do is identify the time frame you want to start analyzing on. Depending on the type of trader that you are, you can either look at the monthly, the weekly, daily, 4-hour, and so on your way down. You want to do time frame correlation and work your way from the top all the way to the bottom. I don't know too many traders that start from the bottom and work their way up, but hey, to each his own. Okay, so I like to start on the daily. All right, I scalp. I'm looking for a setup within that day, most likely. So for the most part, you're looking for something inside the daily candle. So you want to start out with the daily, but you want to get an idea of what the market already did. First thing I do is look at where the market is currently, and then I look at what the day before's candle did, and then I go a little bit further back if I need to. So today is the 17th. Let's call it the 16th because it's 1 in the morning now, a little bit after that. So this is today's candles forming. Yesterday's candle looked like this, and the day before's candle, which was Wednesday, looked like this. So I see that Wednesday we had a nice big move right before we had a little bit of consolidation before that. So Tuesday, Monday, Friday, Thursday of all last week, we had a little bit of consolidation here, and then we finally got that little push, and then we see price finding a high here and then coming back down. That's going to make a lot of difference in my trade, right? Because right now I'm looking at the market going bullish. So if I'm looking at the market going bullish, I'm thinking, well, my first step was deciding my time frame, understanding what my candle is doing for that day. My next step is going to be identifying the trend. Now my trend now is obviously bullish because the market was holding a certain area and now we pushed up. If I mark off this high right here, you'll see 1, 2, 3 taps of this zone and we finally get a break. Now if I think back on my structure, price action analysis, I could say to myself, well, we held a resistance here and now price broke above resistance and now it's holding as a potential area of support. If price holds this area here, I could potentially look for that break, retest, and then a continuation. Now the next thing that's on my mind is, how do I find a trade here? I don't really need to go into too much right now because everything is pretty simple from what it's looking like right in front of me. All I got to do is wait for a decent retest and look for price to continue bullish at that point. So what I'm looking at here is I'm thinking, well, I have a resistance that's formed here. Price broke above resistance and now it could potentially act as support, which it is because price is currently holding above that area. All I got to say to myself, well, if price stays above this area, I'm going to continue looking for my buys. But if price breaks below this area, I could potentially be thinking for price to come down because if this retest doesn't hold and it doesn't maintain, most likely we're probably going to come back down. So if I've already given myself a general area of where I want to look for my trade, now all I got to do is wait for my confirmation. So the first thing you want to do when you come to the charts, guys, come to the daily time frame, look to see what your daily candle is doing right now. If it gives you enough data, then you can probably drop down and look for a setup, or if it doesn't, like this one isn't giving us much right now, we can continue looking by candle, looking back to see what each candle did and how that's going to affect what could possibly happen to come in the market. So being that this candle here is not giving me too much data, it's only telling me that we're coming down bearish, but we're rejecting. We rejected once, we're rejecting twice. Again, I don't quite know yet if I have a valid area of support here for price to continue bullish. This could easily come tumbling on down. So I would have to wait And before I do that, how do I get an idea of what I think will happen? I gotta look left. You always, always, always look left, guys. Look left to see what the market did prior to give you a big, big, big clue on what could potentially come in the future. Okay. So here I see we pushed out of this area here, this little area of, I would like to call it a demand, being that price is above it now, price is pushing up. It could come back down to a retest, which would give us also that break and retest, I guess, technique you could call it, for price to continue up. A lot of these techniques all work hand in hand anyway. It's just all different terminology. Same stuff at the end of the day. All right, so price could push down. Now, I know that if price holds this area, I'm looking for buys. If it breaks, I'm potentially looking for sells. Keyword is potentially, because you still have to wait to see what price does inside your area of interest. Okay, once price is inside your area of interest, at that point, you're just waiting to see what happens. At that point, you're waiting for either bullish engulfings, you're waiting for rejections, you're waiting for exhaustion areas, you're looking for a breakout, you're looking for some sort of candle confirmation to tell you, hey, this is about to happen. Okay, now we drop down to a time frame here. We drop down to the 4-hour. Now things kind of condense a little more. It looks a little bit more detailed. You give yourself a general idea. So once you have a general idea of what that daily candle is doing, then you drop down to the 4-hour and you get more clarity. Okay, so on the 4-hour time frame here, we see that we had one retest down, price pushed up. We have another retest as well. So we kind of have a mini resistance zone forming right here on the 4-hour. Remember, all these candles are 4-hour candles, which means it took 4 hours for each candle to form, which is, it's a high time frame confirmation, guys. So the 4 hours is very strong. So if I see in this structure here where I have 1, 2, 3, 4 candles holding this area here, 4-hour candles, so for 16 hours, we held this high and then price broke down and we're holding this low. The good thing here, well, the logical thing to do here is to wait. Because now I can say to myself, well, this is the analysis I had on the daily, but based off the 4-hour now, I kind of have to change things around a little and say, well, I don't know if price is going to continue here and push up. I may want to wait for price to break this high and then look for the continuation for the buys to give myself more confirmation, or I can wait for this to come back down, break this low, and then give me more confirmation there. Okay, so as you drop down each time frame, it's going to give you a little bit more clarity on what you think the markets are going to do so that you can be able to form the best trade idea. So when you first come to the charts, guys, you're going to the high time frames, identifying what that candle is, what those candles and structure is doing. You're identifying your trend. Your trend is bullish here. My trend is going up, right? If I mark off my structure here, high, low, high, most likely looking for a low and then a higher high. So if I know I have my trend marked, my structure marked off here, all I'm looking for are my support areas to be respected. Marking off all my supports, and I'm looking for price to respect this area, give me a bullish closure, and I'll take that off and take that to the next high. And my next major high, I see this one already got tapped. Most likely it'll be this high right here. That price should come to. Doesn't mean it will, but that's where your target area should be. And if price doesn't go bullish, well, what are the chances it goes bearish? If it does go bearish and it breaks, no problem. I'm just looking for it to retest that area and then potentially give me confirmations to take the market on down and ride that wave on down. Identify your areas of interest, guys, and that is what's going to tell you where to look for your setups. It doesn't mean that is your setup. It just means that's the potential area you want to see some sort of reaction, some sort of candle confirmation to give you more clarity on how to take a trade. Now, like I said, guys, there's a lot more detail that goes into it, but this is the meat and potatoes, the nuts and bolts of it. If you want more detail on how to, look for these trades, you're more than welcome to get my course, because where I go into a lot more detail on how to break down these charts to look for your trade ideas so that you can become a good trader, period, point blank, as a scalper, because that's what I do. I am a scalper. That's what I teach. That's what I look for. That's what's made me successful in what I do. And I think anybody can do it if they really want to. All right, guys. A lot of the times I get questions about, how do I trade off of candlestick patterns, things like that, like, head and shoulders. We have a head and shoulders, double top, double bottom, morning star, evening star, things like that. At the end of the day, guys, it's all terminology. A lot of the stuff that we look for when it comes to like price action and whatnot, all that stuff is kind of a matter of preference with the individual trader and how you choose to look at the market. But for the most part, we're all doing kind of sort of the same stuff. We just see the markets a little bit differently, through our own lens. So it all depends on you. And the only way that you can find your own edge, your own way of navigating the market is by actually studying the markets, how, your brain will be able to comprehend everything and put it all together so that, you can be a successful trader at the end of the day. All right, guys. So that's all I got for this little mini series. That's why I called it a mini series. It's a 4-part series on some important key factors that I see a lot of beginner traders struggling with. Please watch and watch and watch these videos. Take notes and understand that it's not hard. It's not difficult. If I could do it, guys, anybody could do it. It's not hard work. All right. Take it from me. It takes a lot of studying, a lot of dedication, a lot of sacrifice. But if you really want it bad enough, this is definitely something that you can do to become a profitable and a successful trader. All right, guys. Any questions, comments, concerns? Please utilize the description box below. My course information, my broker information, my live trade group, my charts and trades group information, where you can take the same trades that I take. Not a signal group, but my charts and trade group, where you can see my chart breakdowns and be able to form trade ideas for yourself. All that information is in the description box below. If you want to sign up for the same broker that I use on ActTrader, and that's the broker that you guys see me using on my live trade videos, please feel free to use the link in the description box below for that as well. Again, I always get, Charlene, what kind of account do you have? It's an ECN account. Max leverage is 1 to 500, but you're more than welcome to reduce that if you like. I only trade US 30, but you can trade an array of Forex pairs and indices on that broker. All right, they've also recently implemented 24-hour turnaround times for withdrawals, which is awesome. And it's only getting better and better. I love using ActTrader, super loyal to Hanko. They're a great broker. And again, if you want to learn how I trade, forget about the platform I'm using. How do you trade and how do you learn, guys? Get the course, get my information below. Watch these YouTube videos. If you can afford my course, watch these YouTube videos because they're filled with tons of valuable knowledge for you guys to be able to utilize and get yourself where you need to be. All right, guys, that's it for this mini series. I hope it's a help to you guys. I'm doing my best to get as much educational content as I can out. I'm being asked to do a lot more day in the life videos. Doing my best, super busy with personal things these days, but I will do my best to get as much knowledge and value out to you guys as possible, because seeing you guys succeed helps me to become a better mentor every day. So I thank you guys for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. I will see you guys on the next YouTube video. Y'all be good, and I'm out.